Hi everyone, I'm Rayen from the PixelStudio team, and today I'll be going through the basics of lighting so that you can take better photos and videos of your family and friends, apply it to your work, and even improve how you look in virtual meetings. So if you have any questions during the session, please click on the Q&A button and leave your questions there. Okay, so here are the list of things we'll be covering today: common light sources, lighting placement and their terms, three-point lighting, which is a common setup that's used in many forms of media arts, as well as working with what you have on location. So what are some common light sources that we have access to? So first we have natural light, there is sunlight. We have electric powered lights, such as the lights we have on our ceilings, our phones, flashlights, the lights we use for media production, etc. And lastly, we have reflected light, which is basically light reflected off a surface, such as a reflector and directed at our subject. So now we'll start with a demo. So for the common light placement and their terms, first we have key light, which is the brightest light source, and it's usually placed directly in front or above at a 45-degree angle of the subject. This light is often natural light or the brightest light possible. Okay, so the next part is fill light. Fill light is a light source to fill the shadows that's being cast by the key light, and it's usually placed on the opposite side of the key light. This light is often a secondary light that can be beamed, or a reflector that reflects light that's coming from the key light. So if you see our setup, where Hafiz is at, this is our fill light, because it's less bright than the key light and fills the shadows. So the third light that we have is called the rim light. So the rim light is a light source that highlights the shoulder and side of the subject's face, and it's usually placed at a 45-degree angle behind the subject. So where Hafiz is standing, that's our rim light. And then similar to the rim light is the backlight. Yeah, so the backlight, we basically just need to move it slightly over to just behind the subject. It will highlight the hair and shoulders of the subject. So this setup that we have is called three-point lighting, which essentially contains a key light, fill light, rim, or backlight. So 3 lights in total. It's commonly used in films, TV shows, interviews, and even paintings. So this is actually the ideal setup for interviews in our corporate videos. So if you have only 2 lights, you can use a key light with fill light, or key light with rim or backlight as your lighting setup. This is called two-point lighting, as it only has 2 light sources. Okay, so it's also important to keep your subject away from the wall so that the shadows of your subject cast by the lights do not appear on the wall. This will help keep your background clean of any distractions. Okay, so now we have an interim Q&A so that my colleagues can prepare the next demo. So if you have any questions, please drop them into the Q&A section and we'll answer them.
It's very simple, right? 3-point lighting. You have the main light, which gives you the most light. That's the key. Then at the side, we also have the fill light to fill some of the areas that is dark. And at the back, because sometimes you also need to show the outline, right? The outline of your subject. So that's why you use either the backlight or the one at the side. Okay, so those are the 3-point lighting. We have a question from anonymous attendee. For overlay, for example, how do you make sure there's no shadows created, especially when you are using your phone? Basically, for like flat lay, you either go direct, right? Or if you go to the side, your shadow will appear on the opposite side. To counter that, what we usually do is we introduce another light. Okay, we use another light to cast off the shadow. That is why people also, like just now what we have shown you, the 3-point lighting. Sometimes we need to use another light to remove that shadow. So we don't shine the light on the subject. We cast it on the shadow itself, so it will remove it. Yeah, but for flat lay, you can't do anything because it's flat, right? So it's how you play around with your lighting. Either you go direct, so there's no shadows at the sides, or if you need to, you go to the sides, then you introduce another light to remove the shadow.
Let's move on to the next part, which is how we can work with what we have. Okay, so the first tip, if you're using sunlight as your key light, you should never sit your subject back facing the light, as it will cast a shadow and cause a silhouette to form. So so you should never sit back facing, because it will cause a silhouette, just like you can see in the camera right now. And this is actually usually used for like crime documentaries or whatever, like basically films or documentaries to hide the identity of your victim or like criminal. So if it's not your intention to do so, right, like try not to have your subject back facing the sun. Instead, you should actually angle the subject such that the light is shown directly in front of them or at a 45-degree angle. This is so that people can see your subject's face more and face and features more clearly. This technique can and should also be applied for your virtual meetings, where the light source we have to is usually sunlight. So you should never sit yourself like back facing the window. Otherwise, it will make you like look like you're in a crime documentary.
Yeah, I mean, like some of us are guilty of doing this, right? Sometimes we do our Skype meeting. All of a sudden, how come your face so black? Because there's so much light from your, you're sitting at your back facing the window. So you can actually face the window, so the light shine on your face rather than your back. So sometimes the sun is too strong, we cannot like fight using our lights. Like, even though it's a bright light, we cannot even fight with them. No? So what to do? We just make use of it. Okay, make use of the natural light outside from the sun. Face your subject, facing the window. Then use the natural light. Then if there's shadows, and we use other lights to like remove all the shadows. So that's one way to do it. So a reminder to not only to you guys, also to myself. Sometimes it's nice to sit near the window, breezy and stuff like that. But you will look dark. So that's a good reminder for every one of us.
Yep, so back to the demo. If you have a LED light or reflector, you can actually use it as a fill light to fill the shadows cast by the sunlight. So as you can see from this current demo, we are actually using the sunlight as a key light instead. And then we have an additional fill light to basically create 2-point lighting, which is often sufficient and good enough for simple productions. So now we'll move on to a different demo, which is on Indra. So if you're like Indra and have the desire to level up how you look in virtual meetings, you can purchase like these USB ring lights.
Yeah, basically I have like 2 of these lights. It's very cheap. It's like less than like $20. So you can buy online. So there's this flexible, it's on a flexible stand with a clamp, so you can clamp it on your desk or near your furniture. You can also change the light intensity. You can also change the different color. Okay, because sometimes at your home, sometimes you have too many white lights. Sometimes you can look very very flush, too pale. So you need to add some color to your complexion or your face. You can actually use this. You can change. Maybe use the yellow light, something like that. So yeah, so it's quite cheap, like less than $20 you can get it, and it will make you look good. Okay, it's just one light. But if you're a bit vain, maybe you can put 2 . For me, I have 2 of these. One I put at the side to cover, to give some, to shine this side. But when I shine this side will be slightly darker. So I put another light, similar one, slightly further away, and reduce the intensity, so you have better depth to your lights. So yeah, can you mix white and warm light? Yes, I'm actually mixing white and warm light. It depends on what color that you are going for. Okay, we are in office, we are in VBR now. It's a lot of yellow lights here. There's a mixture actually. The center was all yellow, then the sides all white. So when I look at myself from the camera, it's a bit too white. So with my ring light, I select the yellow light, so it will look more natural. It's not too flash, it's not too pale and stuff like that. So it's up to you. So you want to buy the lights, right? Sometimes all those like electronic thrift shops out there, they sell all these kind of lights, like $20, $30, you can get one. And buy those that have like multiple colors. Okay, white light, warm light, and a mixture of these 2. Then you can have a flexibility of having different colors, or different skin tones and stuff, which is good. It will look good on camera. Okay? Yep. Is using ring light safe for your eyes after a certain exposure? Usually they will have, they don't expose the LED. They will have something to cover up the LED, and don't look at the lights. And of course, this light is just to like enhance. You're supposed to conduct your session in a well-lit environment lah. If it's too dark, then that's not the ideal environment. You should have sufficient light, and all these small ring light is just to enhance your features, your tone and stuff like that lah. Yeah, so it's safe. Don't stare at the light. Usually it's if you're very concerned on this, you can read up on the internet. There are certain lights that emit certain that is safe for your skin and stuff like that. But those are slightly more expensive. But technically, you don't have to lah. Just buy those. That is not the spotlight, the one that we use, that we are showing you just now. Those that requires you to place it further away. And even though we use that, we also use filters. So it's not direct light lah. It's being muffled a bit. Yeah.
Okay, one thing I wanted to add about the natural light, right, is that you can actually use this ring light and the natural light together. So you can have the ring light maybe as a field light and then your sunlight as your key light. So basically you get 2-point lighting from this as well. So it's actually useful to have for your virtual meetings if you do it very frequently. I think it will help yourself look better for your virtual meetings. Okay, on to the next part is bonus tip for mobile photography. So basically what I personally practice to do and at night when I'm taking photos for my family or friends is to not use the flashlight on the phone that's taking the photo because that results in a very unflattering image with no depth and shadows, as you can see the photo on the left. Yeah, so that's actually from the phone itself. The background will look very dark and unnatural as well. So instead I will use another phone's flashlight and place it at a 45-degree angle and direct it at the subject. So this would result in much more pleasant looking photo because it's one light source by itself instead of a direct frontal light source. So if possible, it will also be good to take the photo at a brighter location where you have like ceiling lights or street lamps, storefronts to use as your key light. Then the phone flashlight can be a field light instead.
By Melissa Chu. If the natural light is from the left side of the room, where should I place the ring lights?
Okay, so for this question, you should place it on the right side because your key light is on your left. So the ring light should be on your right to act as your field light.
Is natural light a common light source? Yes, correct. Natural light is a common light source. The next question, are you ready? Oh, let's say the leaderboard. Oh, Messi. Wow. Flying book. It's Doris. Wow, the fastest. 954 points. Quite close, huh? Okay, question 2. Are you ready? Which of these is the brightest light source in a multi-point lighting setup? It's the brightest. Time's up. And the answer is key light. Okay, key light is the brightest, followed by the field light. Okay, the rim and the back is all like not as bright as the key. Okay, key is your main light. Okay, let's see. Oh, the fastest answer just now is the hamburger. ... Let's see now. Doris still the top. No, TGIF. Oh, it's the top. The first one now. Okay, on the first position. Okay, let's go on. Let's move on to the third question. Question number 3. A rim light is usually placed in front of the subject. True or false? Just now Rayen mentioned there's 2 light sources usually in front lah.
Oh, trick question.
Trick question. It's actually false. Rim light is really not in front. The light that is in front is usually your key light and your field, right? The rim is usually at the side, or sometimes further towards the back lah, to show your outline. Let's see the leaderboard. Fastest, Messi. Oh, Messi. Add on to the points, and TJI is still the first. Still first place. Good job. See whether can you maintain that lead. Question 4 out of 5. Ready? can you use natural light and field light for a 2-point lighting setup? Any light source you can use for your videography or your photography. Okay, so if you have like some of our HDB houses nowadays we have like full length windows and stuff like that. So use that if you're shooting or you at home, like doing your own storytelling at home. Yeah, just remove your draw your curtains, then use the natural light outside. So when you look at yourself in a camera if like there's certain dark areas on your face, maybe you can introduce another secondary light source to give some light at those dark areas. Okay, so technically any type of light you can use. Okay, and you can also combine the different lights. Okay, usually the natural light there's a tinge of blue so if you want to have to counter that, so you will not look pale, you can introduce a slightly yellow light. TGIF is still the fastest, not bad, good. Second place is Earthman, well done. Now let's go on to the last question. Okay, and your question is, for virtual meetings, should you sit back facing the window? You better get this right, Ayo, somebody say yes. Yes, why yes? Unless you don't want to show your face, right? No. You should not sit back facing the window. You should face the light source coming from the window, not back facing the window. Unless maybe the one who's saying yes, maybe you don't want to show your face, okay? So okay, but we're asking, for if you want to show your face clearly, the light source must be coming, from the window. I mean, not only the window, the light source must be to your face, okay, not to your back. Okay. I think that's the questions that we have for you. Good, most of you got it right. Well done. So those are the essential things that you need to know. And the winner is, let's see. Oh, Messi, coming from the back. Well done, Messi. All the way from Spain, Barcelona. Okay, but they lose yesterday. Okay, I think that's the quiz. Thank you for participating in the quiz. Over to you, Rayen.
Hey, so we hope you've learned a lot from this session and can apply these tips and tricks to your work and personal life. Please help us to fill the feedback form. We also have a bunch of videos on our YouTube channel where you can learn about mobile videography and fun random topics in our Now You Know series. With this, we have come to the end of our sharing. Thank you once again for joining us.
Relax, Rayen.
The audio is kind of throwing me off.
Any tips on using tripods for taking pictures?
For photography, basically, if you need more light, right, you need a tripod because you need the lower shutter speed. So with a lower shutter speed, your photo will be sharper because it's not moving. If you're using your hand and then it's a low shutter speed, your hand might actually shake. So that results in a very blurred photo. So for low light situations, it's definitely better to use a tripod. Otherwise, if it's bright daylight, like just now Inja mentioned, like bright daylight, and then you have like clear skies and very hot weather, it's better to, you don't really need a tripod, you can just use handheld. Hope that answers your question.
Okay, so if not, I think that's it. We'll end the session. Thank you, everyone. So keep on learning and stay safe, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good weekend. Bye.
Bye.